Rant and Rave on Saturday night with the Bulldogs and the Fighting Irish. And let's go. Let's first talk about our hometown boy, Jake Fromm. Tucker, how's he going to do tonight?
I think he's going to do fantastic, just as we all here in Middle Georgia expect. The stage, the atmosphere, all that, that's where Jake Fromm thrives. I think he'll do his job well, but we'll get to the rest of the game in a moment.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. I don't want to put all of it on him. I still think that, that offensive line's got to step up tonight. There's no doubt about that. I don't expect any kind of catastrophe with this kid. He's a freshman, yes, but we know how he is. He's composed. He showed that last week when he got thrown into the fire in the first quarter of his first game with no advance notice, of course. So it's not like he's going to go out there and throw 3 or 4 picks tonight. That's not going to happen as long as that offensive line is okay. That's the key. But if that happens and they take care of him, I think Jake Fromm will be okay. All right. Pretty big thing here tonight is the rushing yards. The running game has got to get going. How many rushing yards will the Bulldogs have tonight against Notre Dame? And this could be rather important, Tuck.
I think that with Chubb and Michelle, they should combine for 150, 75 yards apiece. Is that good enough to win? We'll see.
You know what? I want more. I'm going to be greedy.
Okay.
Yeah, I want more. I mean, I think they're going to need to get between 400 and 500 yards of offense tonight to win on the road. And I think you don't want for 3/4 of that to be from Jake. You want for that running game to take care of it. So I'm going to say somewhere between 200 and 250. And we've got to remember, DeAndre Swift's part of this equation now, and he could be a big part of this. He'll catch some passes like he did last week 3 times, but I think he could be in the mix here. But, yeah, these running backs have got to produce tonight for Georgia to be able to win. So I'm going to say right around 225, maybe 240, somewhere in that area or higher. They do that, they're going to win the ball game, no doubt about that.
Don't forget Jake Fromm can run a little bit, too. No one ever thinks about that, but he's a playmaker, so maybe he can break a few big runs for the Dogs, too.
Let's hope Jim Chaney remembers that. That could be very important, the offensive coordinator. All right. Who must do well on the defense for Georgia tonight? How about another Middle Georgia guy? How about Roquan Smith? You know what? I mean, this kid obviously has had a good career, good start to his career. He's going to be a big part of this defense for this year. No doubt that he is a big part for tonight's game, because if they put pressure on this Wimbush kid, especially if he starts to run, that's where Roquan can come into play. So I think Roquan Smith is a vital member of that defense tonight.
Linebacker is where you have to look. I like Roquan Smith as a guy to watch. Also like Lorenzo Carter, Davin Bellamy, those guys on the outside. The Wimbush kid likes to run. They're going to have to contain, keep him inside, let Roquan eat, as they say, as the kids say, and let that defensive line take over as well. Obviously, the linebackers are huge. It's running game versus running game. I'll go with the 2 guys on the outside.
All right, sounds good. All right, finally, how big of a game is this for Georgia? And I ask this question because, look, this is a non-conference game early in the season. It's not like they are going to crumble if they lose this game. This may be bigger for the fan base, Tucker, because remember, back about 36 years ago, when I was only 10 years old, the Georgia Bulldogs—
I wasn't born.
I know, I hate you. The Georgia Bulldogs won over Notre Dame to win the national championship. They haven't played since. For some reason, Georgia fans hate Notre Dame. I don't know why. It may be bigger for the fan base watching this game tonight than for the players itself. But you know what? This is a national stage on national television against a storied program, regardless of what Notre Dame's record was last year. And I think it's big. I think this is a big opportunity for Kirby Smart and the Bulldogs to play well and make a mark here.
Absolutely. You mentioned Georgia fans don't like Notre Dame. Nobody in the South likes Notre Dame. So this is a huge pride thing. If you lose to Notre Dame, well, that's a loss for the SEC, and you're the SEC's team that isn't very good. We'll just put it that way if you lose to Notre Dame. Kirby Smart needs to win this game. Mark Richt, to the end of his tenure, couldn't win the big games, and that's why it's not there anymore. So Kirby Smart has to win, I think, as far as fans' respect and all that goes.
Yeah, it should be a big game tonight in South Bend. There it is. There's Rant and Rave.